King, Taylor King, Taylor King, Taylor King.
So, folks, we're here finally to talk about Luke Cage Season 2. Tons of spoilers. If you get a chance to check out our interview with Cheo Hodari Coker, it was a pretty good interview. It was kind of funny thing about that one. It was he hit us up on Twitter, and it ended up being like he was out with his kids, and then he hit me up like right around like 7:30. And was like, hey, are you in DC right now? You meet up in Georgetown. And then, like, I literally booked it and picked up D, and we ended up having like an hour and a half interview with the guy. So it was great. So, yeah, definitely check that out. But yeah, we're here to spoil the crap out of Luke Cage Season 2. And two of the guys here, Duke and Joe, you already know what the deal is. How's it going, guys?
Yo.
Going good. It's fucking hot as shit out here, though.
Oh, man, dude, you guys on the West Coast don't got the humidity of the East Coast, but I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Dude, I got in a car. Okay, so like I live in Southern California, right? I'm like 4 miles from the beach, so like it doesn't get super hot out here. But I got in the car after the movie. The car read 122, which
Jeez.
Keep in mind that like it's reading it through like an engine.
Yeah.
But outside it was 109.
Christ. And that's like dead.
And
And that's
never
dead.
gets like that.
And that's dead heat. That's not even like heat with humidity. That's like dead ass heat.
Mm-hmm.
Man. But yeah. So just for me, like watching Season 2 of Luke Cage, I went into it kind of like, all right, guys, did you learn the lessons of Season 1? Which I mean, I think all three of us did enjoy it, even though we might have had gripes with it, but we did enjoy it. I guess starting with you, Joe. I mean, what was your overall thoughts of Season 2 just after reviewing everything?
I think I liked Season 1. Like, I actually really, really like Season 1. I get the gripes and shit like that. Like, I didn't really care for Luke. Like, when he showed up in Jessica Jones the first season, I liked Mike Coulter, but I was kind of like, I think they might fuck up the character of Luke Cage. Yeah. But when he had his own series, I actually really, really liked the first season, and I think a lot of that was just based on Cottonmouth and Luke Cage alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those two were great.
And I especially I fucking love the guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I liked Season 1 a lot because of like the whole, Harlem embracing him and like this bulletproof black guy with the cops and all this shit. Yeah. And then Season 2, I was kind of like, how are you going to keep that going to where it doesn't feel like you're just trying to do the same shit over?
Yeah. And
I feel like in a lot of ways they did, and in some ways they didn't. I didn't enjoy Bushmaster as much as I did Cottonmouth, but I like the kind of Jamaican, voodoo vibes they had going on more than I thought I would.
I mean, were you at least glad that they didn't kill him off? That was my fear that they were going to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I mean, it was a different... I mean, Cottonmouth was more of, say, Kingpin-ish type of thing. He's not going to beat you physically, that type of stuff. But Bushmaster was a different type of threat. And that right there proved that you're like, you know what? This is going to be something really different.
Oh, yeah.
And then... Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
I just think Cottonmouth, like, I don't know. I mean, just that dude. I forgot what's his name again?
Was it Masar? Jesus.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali.
All right, so him, I just think that he's got like even in the movies that he does, like he's just got this swagger that is like unrivaled.
Yeah.
And Bushmaster had a kind of different swagger, like he was just saying, like he was more of a physical threat as opposed to like I like how they're making the quote unquote villains. Like, are they really villains? You know, like,
Yeah.
are they really? But after this season, kind of jumping ahead, like, I think I'm all set with, like, just these kind of, like, regular-ass people that want to fight Luke. Like, I'm ready to see Luke Cage take on some bigger shit.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously, you can only watch him take on, like, gangsters for so many times. Like, dude, it's just like, come on, man. It's like, you know you're not going to beat him. You know, people, and I love the fact they still, you know, like, still try to shoot him. That's even before the Judas Bullet stuff with that revelation.
And now that even that thing doesn't even work now. It's like, oh, well, he's good to go now. Can't really do much with him at all.
So yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Which that would have been a beast in and of itself, because if it was another, the Judas Bullet took him out, it's like, oh boy, we gotta do another arc of him trying to avoid Judas Bullets and stuff, you know?
Well, explain something to me. So did he just get stronger, or did the Judas Bullet just, I mean, they couldn't replicate it properly?
It was that
Claire mentioned that when he took that same bath that gave him the powers the first time from that doctor in the first season, when he took it again to get that, when they got the bullet out, she said it's a possibility that it made his skin more stronger than it was before. So that's why the
So it didn't necessarily make him stronger. It just made it more.
It just made his skin. It just made his skin a lot more invulnerable than it was before.
Okay.
Basically. So it was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Otherwise, I'll be like, okay, how did that happen? You know. So
yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, he just got shot point blank and nothing happened.
Yeah, that's why I was glad Claire made that clarification, because if she didn't say any of that, I would have been like, okay, can somebody explain how this happened? Because here's where it confused me. I watched it, right? Because I watched it earlier before it even came out on Netflix on the screener. So when I saw that episode, I was like, hold up, did I miss something here? He shot him with the Judas Bullet and nothing happened? Oh, okay, I gotta rewind this. And then I rewinded, I was like, oh, he shot him and it didn't work. And then all of a sudden, that's when Claire made that line. I was like, okay, I wasn't seeing things clearly. All right, we're good. We're golden.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it was because of the effects of the Juice Bullet that made him do that dab. So,
listen. Oh my God! Listen, that was I would probably say that was probably the big thing that everybody was tweeting about, was him doing the dab. But it was funny because, you know, that was apparently Coulter's idea in the first place. They was like, yeah, I just want to do the dab. And he was like, all right, go for it. You know?
Can I just say, honestly, though, like, I think I started it like Friday night, right? So I sat down. When you start any show with fucking Mobb Deep, and you just have him go into that drug den, whatever the fuck that was, with his headphones on, with Shook Ones, I'm like, oh, God damn it, it's so perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So I like just that alone, the first episode, I was like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah, that was the best way to intro it and stuff. But I guess before we start like going nerdgasming over everything, I guess we could start with the negatives. I guess what was both of you guys' negatives for the season and stuff? Some
of the stuff dragged a little bit. I really wish they should have showed Bushmaster's like you know, his rise and stuff, like, you know, his showing all that type of past stuff. You know, they showed that too late in the season. It was like episode 11 or something. That said, that was like
10, 11. I think it was like 9 or 10 or something that we got like a backstory on him. Yeah,
I'm like, that's way too late. I think they should have got it done probably in episode 6 or 7. Personally, other than that, you know, I don't really have much negative stuff to say. I mean, some of the pacing in episodes, some stuff goes a little too long and such. You know, some scenes go a little too long, and sometimes you don't really see, you know, the title character, Luke Cage, like, he only appears, like, he's like cameoing in this episode and such. Like, oh yeah, he's still here. It's like Mariah, Bush, all this stuff. I'm like, oh, what happened to Luke Cage? And then like 5 minutes left of the episode. Oh, he's there. He's like still in the Pop's barbershop, just still like sitting there reading a book. I'm like, you been reading that book the whole time, man? Seriously, do something.
I agree with that. I think I don't really have any negatives per se, but I would say that things that I kind of noticed were like, some episodes were just like, whoa, you know, like, holy shit. And then some were like, fuck, man, how long is the episode? you know.
Yeah.
Dude, you know the thing that bothers me the most? I can't stand Shades' fucking pretend tough guy voice. I can't stand when he does that when I'm talking like anybody, like when they do that like soft ass like tough guy whisper.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, you know, like why can't you just talk normal?
Yeah.
You know, like that. So that kind of got to be a little obnoxious throughout the episodes, and then I think overall, I kind of didn't really like gravitate to Bushmaster as much as I did Cottonmouth, and I don't think that's any fault of like the actor. I think it's more just the way the character was written.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, Cottonmouth to me was just like, I don't know. It was almost like an honorable piece of shit. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like this time around, like I liked it. I liked. Okay, I guess my biggest complaint would be my complaint from when he was in Jessica Jones is they seem to not really have a level of how strong he is. Because sometimes he's throwing dude across the screen, he's getting hit with, you know, a sword across the forearm and it breaks, and then other scenes, a guy hits him with a bat and he kind of flinches, and I'm like, wait, okay, how strong is this guy?
Well, that was the inconsistencies that, and I'm pretty sure y'all both noticed that, okay, because you know with him, he's strong, that if he punches a dude, it might punch his head off, and that's why he slaps dudes, because that's all you need to knock him out.
Yeah.
What threw me off was that in Defenders, when he's saving Danny, he punches a dude into the wall, and I'm like, how is that dude's body part still intact? You know, it's those little things, and it's like, okay, like I'm confused here on
same
where we're
thing
at.
with Jessica Jones. You don't know her power levels and such. It fluctuates.
She has the same power set. Strength wise, she I think she could jump and she can actually she has strength, but that's about it. But she's not invulnerable. But like her powers fluctuate because some dude grabs her from the back of the elevator, and I'm like, she's struggling. I'm like, shouldn't you be able to just flip that dude over? But you know,
exactly. It's almost like the. It's like, okay, so Daredevil has his powers, but they're not strength, so that's, you know, they don't really. Okay, it's almost like the characters in the Netflix series that have, you know, strength-based powers. They don't really know how. It's almost like, okay, so I'm trying to put this into words. So like each episode is a different director. It's almost like the directors just come up with their own spin on the character. So like, how does Iron Fist punch a guy with the Iron Fist?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whereas like Luke Cage, again, I mean, he puts a grenade in his hands and it just goes off.
Yeah.
And then in one episode, a dude attacks with like a fucking sword, and he's like, "Oh shit, don't touch." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's like how about we kind of figure out, okay, this is how strong he is, this is what hurts him, and we just run with it.
Yeah.
Because it's a little confusing from episode to episode. It fluctuates.
Yeah, because I mean, it seems as though they press the limits on certain things that like can hurt him, and like you said, a regular grenade, fine, but you get something like that explosive that Bushmaster had that's more powerful than the grenade. It's like, okay, that makes sense. That would knock Cage back a little bit, especially when dude had that like shotgun. I don't know what the fuck that was. That shotgun. It's like,
shotgun,
okay, that made sense for it to knock Cage back a little bit because that wasn't a regular shotgun. So it's like, all right, fine, you know, that's cool and stuff. So at least on that level, on what weapons, yeah. But like you said, bat breaks and it's like sword, dude. Why are you flinching? Like, you know, so. Yeah, there needs to be it's kind of like the comics and stuff where there needs to be kind of like a collective effort of, okay, guys, this is the standard of what this character can do and can't do and what's going to be invincible and what he's not going to flinch from, you know, so that committee.
Yeah, like they need to have like a creative meeting prior to filming and saying, okay, look at this is what he can lift, this is what he can't lift, etc., like, you know, because I don't know. I mean, it just like it gets a little confusing where it's like, wait a minute, like in the last episode he did this, but why is he doing this?
Yeah.
You know, I'd say, but the same thing with Jessica Jones, same thing with Iron Fist. Like there's scenes in Iron Fist where he punches people with the Iron Fist, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? You could punch through steel with that, and you just punch the guy in the chest.
Yeah, yeah. It has to
You
be
know,
a
like-
committee. It needs to be, like I said, like comics. You need to have that committee there to be like, all right, here's the Bible on this character. And I mean, they're getting a smidge better, but like you said, there needs to be a Bible on like what you can and can't do. You know, because I will give the MCU this. They've finally, after like so many movies, they finally got an idea of like, okay, Thor, especially after Ragnarok, we find out Thor is like ridiculous. You know,
He's a god.
Yeah, he's a guy. We know Hulk is ridiculous, but when it comes to Thanos, yeah, you know, Hulk.
All you need to do is get that two-piece.
Hulk is getting that work on Thanos and stuff, but we know Thor with the hammer, he can take out Thanos, and it's like, okay, there's levels. Like, I even go so far as to say when we saw like Panther and Steve Rogers wind sprinting past everybody, okay, we know their limits. We know what they can and can't do. So it's like the TV side, they need to kind of fine tune it a little bit on what they can do. Because even Bushmaster, sometimes I was like, okay, how long does this nightshade last for you to sit there and still punch Cage like that and it not hurt? You know, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like they seem to have dialed in like Cap from the first movie to Winter Soldier to Civil War to all that shit. Like, okay, we know he's pretty strong, but he's not as strong as Thor. And then Spider-Man, you know, we saw how strong he is.
He's holding back clearly.
You know, yeah. So like I think with all those characters, we have a clear-cut idea of like Peter Parker is 16 years old. He can stop a car with his bare hands. He can lift this. Okay, that makes sense for him at 16. Et cetera, et cetera. And it seems like with the movies that he's shown up in, it's been consistent.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like Cat maybe have gotten stronger. Same thing with Black Panther, et cetera. Luke Cage is like he's super strong, then he dips, then he's super strong, then he dips. So it's like get these people together and just like you said, come up with a guideline of like this is how strong each of these characters is. Don't go past it, but don't uncut it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with you guys. It was very much tough to really come up with any sort of like, okay, this is my bad thing. It was funny because I was kind of sitting back, and I saw some people were talking about a lot of Jamaican stuff, and I let it slide on the Jamaican stuff in the show because like I think we're all used to like Hollywood movies in the 90s when it came to Jamaicans where they just made them very stereotypical, like, oh, they smoke weed and voodoo and that's about it. They didn't have much like depth to them. So I did like the aspect of the Jamaican heritage with Bushmaster and that part of New York and stuff with the Jamaicans and things like that. I thought that actually was pretty dope and stuff, particularly with the family aspect because one little nugget, and I mean, I don't know how you guys felt, like I did like how Bushmaster's uncle was the one that was trying to keep him from like, hey dude, like you won, like what are you doing, you know? And he was that kind of like constant that was keeping him from like crossing that line until he got killed, and then you know, there you go, he kind of crossed that line. So that was kind of like a little low key thing that I enjoyed, at least with him.
What I do think was really cool was that, and I actually read his response on Twitter, was so Jamaicans speak, what is it called, Patois?
Yeah, Patois.
Okay. Patois, okay. So that's a very, very tricky language to understand.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, I mean, the way that they use, like, B and R in certain contexts, it's like, huh? But I appreciate the fact that he didn't just, the showrunner didn't just go, okay, these guys are Jamaican, but, like, we're just going to Americanize them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I read on Twitter where somebody said that, and he's like, man, that was a fight. You know, it was a fight to like really get that included, and
I didn't think he would
get that included.
I didn't think he had to fight for that. That's crazy.
Well, you know, some people have this, the idea of what Jamaicans are like, but no, this I like the portrayal of all of these characters. It makes them more real. It makes them more vicious and more realistic, and you can relate to them and such. And by the way, can we just talk about how Mariah Stokes? Love these things.
Mariah Stokes.
Her pretty much. She was like, I'm like, wow, she has made herself.
She stole the show easily, man.
Yes. I'm like, wow, this. I mean, she raised some levels up there. I was like, by the end, I'm like, she's right up there with Kingpin.
Man, look.
Really?
Ooh.
See, and that's debatable too, because it's like I liked her evolution. If she doesn't get an Emmy for this, at the very least a nomination, I'm gonna be kind of surprised, because like I wasn't expecting her character to kind of get to that point where she was really like embracing being this cutthroat boss, like burning a dude alive and then shooting him and stuff. It's like, Jesus, okay, I guess that's what we're doing, and killing that chick inside the jail, and just her evolution of being that cold-hearted and stuff because of what Bushmaster was doing, and also like everything that she was doing to try to get back into the fold of, you know, the political world and stuff. It was just like, yo, she really is breaking down. Granted, her and Shay's relationship was a bit on the weird side, I'll admit, wholeheartedly.
Dude, I don't like that character. I mean, I like
Theo Rossi.
Theo Rossi. Yeah, like I like him. He's a good actor, but like I just don't like that fucking. I can't stand the voice, the character. Like he's kind of all over the place with like, I'm with you, but now I'm against you. But this guy's the edge, but now I'm a bit like it just. After like 4 episodes, I was like, fuck, enough of this guy. You know, like and then yeah, like you said, like their relationship was fucking weird.
Oh man, because I mean, it's because it was like. Because it threw me off too earlier on, where when that dude was like, "Oh, you're celebrating your aunt," and then the dude got beat up in the kitchen. I was like, "Did he kill him, or did they just beat him up and stuff?" And I was like, "Okay, look, they just beat him up and stuff." But yeah, the relationship was a little bit on the weird side and stuff. And I'm like, so did they have sex or not? Because you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to know, but it's like, yeah. And then what was crazy too is that you got Shades and what's his face? What the fuck is that dude's name?
His partner
Comanche?
in crime?
Yeah, Comanche.
Comanche.
It's like they were playing up a sort of homoerotic relationship with them a little bit.
I thought they were gay as fuck, and I was like,
and I was fine with it. I was like, okay,
yeah.
I see where this is going. All right, this
No
is
shit,
this
dude,
is fine.
I thought they
I agree
were
with you.
secret lovers, but I'm like, well, maybe they were brothers or something like real.
It went from starting off as okay, maybe they're just brothers, and it's like, so are they in a relationship here? I mean, I'd be fine with that. I mean, that'd be cool. Shit. All right.
I'm like, I'm like, you know, I'm looking at this man. You know, like at least someone from if someone wrote this from Tumblr, that they would have already had like a gangbang like 3 times before episode 5.
Yeah. Like there was really like, okay, there's some tension here in some way, shape, or form, and that's what makes me wonder. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No. I mean, like I completely agree. Like it's when they were having their conversations and whatnot, especially when they were kind of at like breakfast or lunch. That one scene.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was like, there was a couple of times where I was like, these motherfuckers are about to kiss. And I'm not like, hey, I thought that maybe Comanche would try to kiss Shades or like make kind of like, oh, what happened? Yeah, like what happened to us or some shit like that, to kind of allude to the fact that maybe they were, an item at one point, but which I think would have added an extra layer of depth to dude. Shades to me is about as one-dimensional of a character as you get.
Because at one point, and I think even Comanche said, it was like, dude, you could literally bump off Mariah and rule this by yourself if you wanted to.
Which, that would have been interesting.
Which would have been interesting, because I think Diamondback even told him, like, hey, dude, you could literally been running this too alongside me, but Shades was like, no, it's just not my thing. And I was like, that would have been a little interesting if he did kind of like
bump off Mariah, but then again, what would he be strong enough to actually carry a season or half a season?
I mean, he said he wanted to take over the club. He said he wanted to take over the club, so I could see him running the club on some like Penguin from Batman thing, where he's still doing his stuff, but the club is kind of a front, so to speak.
Honestly, I don't need to see him again.
I don't know. Well, he's in jail now, but we'll see if he cameos in season 3.
At the most, give me a cameo here and there, but like I just think that character has run its course, and
well, you never know. I mean, as long as I would not be surprised if, like, after say what shenanigans and such with Luke Cage season 3 or whatever, you won't be surprised him coming back or some way, or maybe a cameo in jail.
So, we'll get back. We'll go back around to Mariah and stuff in a minute. But Misty Knight, I did enjoy her arc. I actually did like her a little more this season than last season. I will fully admit that. Particularly with her finally getting that arm from Danny Rand, which I hope gets a little bit of a metamorphosis next season. But
yeah,
it did look. I'll admit it looked good in motion. I was very kind of like, all right, she got the arm, but that image ain't really making the arm look any flattering. And then it's like, oh, okay, this looks pretty good in motion. All right, I'm fine with this now. So.
Dude, Misty Knight, that Simone Missick or whatever the fuck her name is, like. That woman is so goddamn sexy to me. It's not even funny. Like, even with the one arm, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll open doors for you. I'll open jars for you. Like,
that was her husband, by the way. That was what's his face? Damn it. That was making fun.
Cockroach.
Yeah, Cockroach. That was her husband in real. That's her husband in real life.
Fuck off! Is it really?
Yeah, that's her husband in real life, man. Cheo was saying that the scene where like Cockroach was making fun of her one arm and stuff. He was really going in on her when they were filming that scene and stuff, and really kind of like digging in on her and stuff. And she was like copping the attitude and stuff a little bit, even though she knew it was part of the scene and stuff. But like he was enjoying playing. He was enjoying playing Cockroach, man. Like
you know what though, man?
Enjoying a little too much. He was like,
yeah, a little too much.
Misty Knight's my girl. Like I fucking love her. I like Colleen too.
Yeah.
So, I was in a love triangle the whole season because I was like, okay, Misty, Colleen, and then you had Tildy, and I was like, oh, God.
Look. I'll even go so far as to say the other chick in the police precinct that was opposite Misty, I put her up there, too.
Yes, she was Mirror Misty, and
she could be a runner-up. But, like, when you have Misty, when you have Colleen, and then you have Tildy fuck out of here. Man. Fuck out of here with that.
Man, listen, hey, fuck it. Murder, marry, kill. Who you picking?
you mean fuck Mary? You mean fuck Mary?
Fuck Mary. Who are you killing? Who are you taking? Because that's a tough one.
All right. I'm gonna fuck Misty. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna marry Tildy because I feel like she's like long term would like whip you up some voodoo shit to like help you out.
Yeah.
Plus you can tell she's got some long term plans. Like she's a schemer.
Yo, man, no bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I want to see what happens in the long run. Fuck, dude, I don't want to. I'd have to kill Colleen only because I think she would kill me, so I wouldn't have to make the decision.
Yeah, it's kill.
Like I'd be like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like. I'd fuck Misty because I don't know that my heart could take more than a couple times. I would marry Tildy because, like I said, she's young, she's long term, she's a schemer.
Yeah.
I'd kill Colleen only because I know she can handle herself. So.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Well, I would have fuck Colleen. I would marry Misty. And I would probably murk the police woman, Mirror Misty, which
light skinned Misty, basically.
No. The options are Tildy.
Oh yeah, Tildy,
Misty, and Colleen.
Yeah, Tildy. Yeah, go with those three, dude. Gotta go with those.
Yeah, well, then I'll have to murk Tildy then.
All right.
Oh, motherfucker. What about you?
Okay, I have to take Joe's thing, but I'll have to flip it. I would have to fuck Tildy and marry Misty. So that's
a solid pick.
I have to flip that stuff because it's like Tildy. It's like that's a one-time thing. I can't that's. I was gonna say
you might be right.
That's a one-time thing a little bit. She, like I said, at the same time, I think she'd be cool with that because she doesn't seem like she's a clinger. So that could work out.
But then how long do you think you could hang out with Misty fucking you up with that arm?
That depends on depends on if I get on her bad side. That's the key thing.
What I'm saying, what if you're trying to have relations with her and she just takes that arm and just starts like throwing you around and shit. You're like, all right, hold up, like what's going? Like, you know what I mean? Like we got to switch roles here.
I mean, pain is love sometimes. Just saying.
No, I get you. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Homegirl that we were saying is light skinned Misty. She was I forgot she was Faith Evans in that Notorious movie. Completely forgot.
She was?
Yeah. She was Faith Evans in a Notorious movie.
movie's terrible, but no shit.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. You say it's terrible. I kind of sort of like Notorious. I'm not even gonna lie. I sort of liked it,
Dude.
and that's only because
I
I watched
mean-
the Tupac one, so it's like Notorious. By default, you're great. It ain't straight out of Compton,
Dude.
but it's like it's not bad.
They're both fuck. I watched All Eyes on Me like a month ago,
Yeah.
and that movie, I know we're getting sidetracked, but like, come on,
It's
we
all
all
relative.
know
It's
about
music.
Tupac and Biggie. Like, fucking Robin Hood, they were not.
No, hell no.
You know what I
No,
mean?
hell
Like,
no.
I cannot stand when they take these stories. We already love these fucking guys.
Yeah.
We already love them. They're dead. Like, you could tell me that he sold crack to children. I'm like, well, come on, he's
Yeah,
Biggie.
yeah.
Stop fucking trying to paint him out to be like this misunderstood hero.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that
can't
sells tickets,
stand
man.
Well, yeah, that was that
No,
was
it does. No, it doesn't, because both movies bombed.
but that was my thing with Straight Outta Compton. It's like I like Straight Outta Compton, but it's like, hey, can I get D Barnes? That little incident with Dre and D Barnes, at least. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
like,
I think Straight Outta Compton did a better job than the
Yeah.
other two.
yeah.
But yeah, where was Dre slapping the shit out of D-Bar? Like, what the fuck, man?
Even homegirl, his first girlfriend, he went upside her head. I was like, yo, where's that? Could she get a footnote or something? I mean, something. It's like I would like that. That's probably why I don't like the Freddie Mercury movie that's coming out, because they're doing
Can't
the
stand
music, but they're not touching on his whole battle with HIV and all that stuff. And I was like, why don't you include that? That's something that's very important. Like,
Not only that, but that kid that plays him is like fucking 5 feet tall. So
Yeah.
see,
And
I
Freddie
didn't
Mercury
mind
is
it, but yeah, you're right.
fuck that movie.
Yeah, but like I said, it's all music related and stuff. But yeah,
And speaking of the music, this series is wow. The soundtrack of this series is amazing.
I need to
See
get
how
the
we
vinyl.
tied it back in?
I need to get the vinyl for this season. I did get the vinyl for last season. I need to get the soundtrack
Yeah, I
for this
did
season.
know that.
'Cause this
Man.
Do you guys think the music was as strong this season?
Oh,
it tied in a little bit more. Put it this way, I think like the first season, I always dubbed it the New York Undercover season, because I remember in New York Undercover they always played the music act for that episode at like the end of the episode and the middle of the episode. But I think in this season, the way they tied it in, it wasn't like, okay, now we're going to cut to the club. Like, it's like, no, there was a reason why they cut to the club and we saw the music, because it tied into what they were doing. So I think in terms of the way that they structured the music, it was a little bit better this season than last season. Not totally what they did last season. I thought it was great. It was just this season, especially particularly the last episode, I thought it was great, the way they tied it all up and stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I actually like the music last season more, but I think the music this season was more appropriate for the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I like the blues and shit like that.
Oh, the blues.
for whatever
That
reason.
I forgot which episode that was with the blues. That was great, 'cause I think that was
Yeah.
a B.B. King song originally. I
Yeah, the
remember.
thrill is gone and shit.
Yeah, the thrill is gone. Yeah, that was a great. I love that whole performance and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I liked some of the Caribbean music they used too a little bit as well. That was pretty dope.
You had like of the honestly, Gary Clark was pretty good.
Oh man, yeah.
Gary Jr. was good. You had Esperanza Spalding.
Yep. Rock
And yes,
gotta include him.
but you know what to do? Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram. He was the one, the hefty brother with the guitar, who was really good.
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah, he's the one that did "Thrill Is Gone." Yeah, he was. Yeah, he sung the hell out of that song, man.
And he's only 18 years old, by the way.
Hold up. He's 18.
Yep,
Wow.
he's a blues prodigy. Who was actually got attention of when he was like 3 years ago, when he was 15, when he played at a White House party with the Delta Blues Museum Band.
Wow.
And he's going to release his debut album soon, so I think this thing has helped him out a bit.
Help, that's shit a bit. That's an understatement. That's like beyond helping and stuff. But yeah, it definitely worked. But I guess if we're going back to the characters, Tildy, I liked her. I thought she was great, going from innocent to she's definitely scheming, as Joe put it. She definitely got long-term
Oh
plans,
yes,
plans for the future of what she wants to do. Did y'all get a kick out of how tight she was looking when she found out Mariah gave Luke the club.
Yeah, she was like,
She was like, this bitch right here, motherfucker.
Yo, I was laughing because I'm like, you got the piano. You really mad that you didn't get the club? Like,
I mean, seriously, you never liked this place anyway. What were you gonna do with it?
You know, it was weird, man. But I thought that was funny. I thought that was hilarious and stuff.
Well, but you know, the only thing is though, the lack of werewolves and such was really a hurt to herself. So
Nah, you know, put it this way, I was not expecting them to go really deep, I guess, with what she was doing with the whole medicine stuff until like once Bushmaster came to the fold and we found out that he got some of his stuff from her, and it's like, oh, see, clearly this is going to play a part. I mean, you know, she kills Mariah using that nightshade stuff, you know, and I'm like, oh, so she might be a problem next season.
oh yes, here's hoping that she will do some. She will, because what her actress who played her was great. She was.
I seen her.
She's fucking beautiful, gorgeous too.
Yeah. I seen her in a couple of. I think she was in what the fuck? She was in this show, The Game.
Yep.
Yeah, on BET.
You know what? You know what kind of bothered me, and it's a small.
Yeah.
It's a small gripe. It's like, again, I know that you guys, you know, you're dealing with voodoo in a book show, so you got to suspend disbelief and everything, but like, I thought the whole nightshade thing was fucking stupid. And it was like...
It was the MacGuffin.
Nightshade. Yeah, it was like, oh, nightshade. Give me this nightshade. Oh, just give me some more nightshade. And it was like, how does that... I don't know. It just seemed like...
But I like that there was a downside to it. It wasn't just the I win button. It was
I do too.
Yeah. You know.
I do too, but like, I feel like they could have come up with a more creative way to work in voodoo into him versus just like, oh, here's some nightshade.
Well, it wasn't really voodoo so much as it was. It wasn't voodoo so much. It was just like holistic, like natural herbs type stuff, you know. So,
but that's my problem is that like so you're dealing with a Jamaican culture this season. Jamaican culture has a lot to do with voodoo, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
So,
I mean, granted, that's a little Haitian, but yeah, about the same. Yeah.
But I mean, voodoo exists in Jamaica. I'm not saying it's like the motherland of Jamaica, or voodoo, but like, so what I'm saying is like, when you have that kind of idea to fall back on, why, like you said, it was more holistic. Why not just say, fuck it, like it's voodoo, or like it has an element of, because this just being like, oh, put some nightshade in a bowl, crush it up, and let a fire was like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's it? Like, so this motherfucker could breathe in nightshade and become stronger than Luke Cage? Like,
I mean, he knows capoeira, too, which was actually pretty dope. I got
doing the moves from, let's see, that dude from Tekken, that Jamaican
I called him, no, Eddie Gordo's Brazilian. I just called him Jamaican Eddie Gordo, basically. That's all it was. Which was, I mean, look, shout outs to freaking, Mike Mullins and them, because he's the one that actually did the fight choreography. Matt Mullins, my bad. Matt Mullins. He was actually the guy that did the fight choreography for the season. And look, thank God Luke actually knows how to fight this season. Thank God. Because
yeah,
it's a little better. You got to admit.
Yeah, there was some really better
boxing.
That's the crazy part. Like, his character boxed and stuff. We saw flashbacks in the first season, so I'm like, so can he box or not? I'm confused here.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, listen, man, the capoeira looks cool, but like, capoeira's a dance. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you don't see capoeira.
It's a legit dance fighting, but yeah, I see your point.
Okay, let me ask you this: when was the last time you saw capoeira in MMA? You might see the movement, like Conor McGregor will move with capoeira, but like, it's not a highly effective form of martial arts.
Yeah,
it's more like a dance. You know what I mean? Like, it's you can use it in competition. Yeah. My point being is like, so when this guy's dancing around and shit, and Luke Cage boxed, my argument is like, why isn't Luke slipping a punch, or why isn't he like You know what I mean? Like, why isn't he moving his head? Like, why doesn't he box? Imagine a guy with that power.
Yeah.
If he had technique.
Well, I mean, that was the thing
then,
that was the thing that made sense when they were fighting on the bridge. It was like Luke finally caught on to his bullshit, and that's when he did the pocket sand Dale Gribble shit, and then it's like, oh, well, there you go.
But I mean, again, because like you were saying earlier, like Luke, he knows that he could kill somebody if he punched him, so he just slaps and. But when you fight Bushmaster, you know this guy is as strong, if not stronger than me. So I don't. It's almost like when Superman doesn't have to hold back, and he's like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of catharsis for him. Luke Cage on the bridge, I wanted to see him be like, you know what? I don't have to hold back, and just kind of fucking unload on this guy. But everything he does is just like he just throws haymakers and shit. But they showed that he boxed.
Oh yeah.
It's a small gripe, but that's not boxing. He boxed, he's swinging.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's probably
I know
what
it's
made
kind of a dumb gripe.
No. It's not a dumb gripe because that is kind of the funny thing when you look back at the end of season 1 with him and Diamondback's fight. It's like Diamondback looked like the legit boxer compared to Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this season, it's like there's a little improvement, but it's like, yeah, there were spots, particularly on the bridge. It was like, okay, Luke, you're finally picking up on, grab the leg, punch him, throw him into the trash can. All right, cool, you're getting somewhere, But it was funny too with Bushmaster. It felt like after that bridge fight, he just gave up the capoeira shit. He was just like, fuck it, we're done. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, dude, he went fuck the capoeira. He went with that Tajiri shit and just blew some shit in his eyes. I was all fuck. He's gonna get the mist.
Yeah, which I mean, you expected it and stuff, but I was laughing because I was like, of course, Bushmaster.
Exactly.
Now, did he just walk around with fucking sand in his pocket?
Nah, it was apparently it was like something that actually paralyzed you. It was like paralyzing powder.
Dude, it's like from fucking what, Bloodsport?
Yeah.
Motherfucker had the same shit from Bloodsport. I was like,
that one blinded him. That one blinded him. So yeah. There's that and stuff, but it was funny too because I did like the offset the fact that him using a nightshade so much, because that was my thing. The questioning was like, okay, he uses nightshade, but where does it wear off at? And that part where he punches the desk and stuff, and then when the cops left, after his lawyer came in there, and he was all like, "Ouch." And I was like, oh, so it does have an expiration date and stuff. It isn't just forever. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's true.
That was interesting. But like you said, his uncle had to be the one to tell him, hey, if you're going to rely on nightshade, that thing will poison you if you keep that up and stuff. So I was pretty much glad that was a thing and stuff. But I
love the fact he went all Mr. Fuji on Bushmaster. Went all Mr. Fuji on Luke Cage. I was like, the hell.
Luke had to choke his ass out and stuff. Like, nope, not today. Go to sleep. But you know what? I was very shocked that, and I know probably because of her schedule and stuff. Luke and Claire's relationship. Luke and Claire's relationship didn't get a sort of resolution, much like Luke and his dad, which we'll get into in a moment. But I
love his dad.
Yeah, his dad was awesome, but like Luke and Claire, I thought it was interesting how Luke's relationship with his father and his anger on everything kind of drove Claire kind of like a little bit distant, particularly that argument that they had in her mother's place, and he punches the wall, and it's like, oh shit, like, okay, clearly somebody needs to calm down, and yeah, that was a tense scene, and I like how the guy, the utility dude that was working on the apartment kind of looked at him like, damn, dude, really? And Luke looked at him
calm down, dude.
Calm down, don't punch me, don't kill me. So, and I like how it all tied into the fact that Luke and his relationship with his dad, which I will give the show another another props and stuff. They did a better job with Luke's relationship with his dad versus the comics, where his relationship with his dad in the comics is like non-existent.
Isn't his dad kind of just like in the background of the comics?
His dad, his dad was, I think, in the what was the name of that Jessica Jones comic. Jesus, I'm like blanking out on it. But in her early comics and stuff, basically she was investigating, trying to find Luke Cage's dad, and she did, and then come to find out that basically Luke never really forgave his dad for, family situation and stuff. And like we found out, it's funny, in Mighty Avengers, and I'm going to keep bringing this up just to get people to read that issue, Luke's dad was a former NYPD detective, and back in the day, he worked alongside Blue Marvel and Blade. And there's literally like a couple of panels where we see the Blade from the 70s and stuff with the goggles and the 70s look and stuff, and Blue Marvel and stuff, and then Luke's dad. They were all working together and stuff to fight like some vampires and something else and stuff. And cut to the future, and Luke's looking at his dad like, so you didn't tell me that you worked alongside Blade and Blue Marvel. And that was it. But at least with this show, I like that over the course of the series, from the first episode where they're both like butting heads, all the way to the last episode, they finally were able to kind of resolve their feelings and stuff. So, I thought it was great. Very great. Especially John McCaffrey.
I legit missed that fucking Reg Cathy guy. Like,
yeah.
I think he was fucking like 58 or something, like young.
Yeah.
And like, and he just had one of those voices too,
Oh yeah. It was there, man.
I didn't know he was going to be in this season, honestly. And when he showed up, I was like, "Oh fuck," And then obviously that's his dad, and he's a pastor and everything. And like you said, the evolution of their relationship, especially like in the building when he's talking to Mariah, and then you kind of forget because you're like, he's so good, and then I'm like, oh, but he died. You know what I mean? Like, and it was fitting. In a way, it was fitting because when he's like, I got to get out of here, come back to Georgia with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, all right, well, that explains why he, won't be back for season 3, obviously.
Yeah.
Without killing off his dad.
Yeah. I mean, you can still have him call him or anything else.
Recast him or something with somebody else.
No, even at House of Cards, like, he's just so fucking
Oh, man,
good.
he was great, man. I loved him. I loved him in The Wire. I loved him in House of Cards, especially and stuff. He's always been a very...
Yeah.
Reggie Cathy was always a great actor, and that was
he was
good in Fantastic Four.
Yes, he was the only decent dude in Fantastic Four. Is like...
Yeah. But the thing, because, like, Chael was saying that, like, he was actually... Because he had found out, I guess, when they were filming earlier on, and he was going through treatment and stuff, and you could tell in certain spots and stuff, like, okay, he's going through treatment a little bit and stuff, and I think earlier on and stuff, apparently, like, he was cutting out a lot of stuff, cigarettes and all that stuff, apparently, and he was going through all that treatment and stuff, and he's like, yeah, man, Reggie came in there, did his thing and stuff, and, it just kind of sucked that, he died, and I was like, yeah,
it was, throat cancer? What was it?
I think
lung
cancer. Yeah, lung cancer.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I would do it.
Yeah, so...
That'll do it.
It's a shame.
You know what, though? I was fitting that at the end they did a little thing for him, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Especially that little scene with Luke when he's sitting down and you hear his dad kind of, like, giving that sort of, like, choice of what Luke's going to have to do, like, hey, you're going to build up in anger, and what are you going to do with it and stuff. I thought that was actually a pretty nice little book footnote for that character and stuff. So
yeah. I did. Now, on a side note, did you catch the like that episode where Claire and Luke broke up? And first of all, dude, how fucking just insanely good looking is Rosario Dawson?
Yeah, man.
Dude, it hurts my feelings. She's so good looking, it's offensive. You know what I mean?
I think we talked about this in the first season. I was like, yo, Claire is smoking.
Oh, she's so fucking hot. Anyways, but did you catch the fucking Night Nurse song?
No, I didn't catch it. Where was it at?
So it was I think it was in that same episode. It was one of the first episodes. One of the the band that they had. He was singing a song about my night nurse, and I was like, oh, I see what you did there, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? I don't think it was about her, obviously. It's an old song.
Yeah.
But it just was kind of funny that the episode was kind of centering around her and Luke, and then that song comes on. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easily.
Now, do you think that she's gone from the Netflix shows? Because I was reading a thing saying that she doesn't know she'll be back.
I think you have to bring her back just to kind of get some resolution with her and Luke, because like her thing with Luke when she left was like, yo, you need to get your anger under control and kind of basically find yourself and take care of what you need to take care of to get yourself back to where we can be in this relationship. So it'd be dumb of them not to bring back Claire, because if this was the end of Claire and then we don't see her anymore, I would be very disappointed, because it's like, yo, we can't get any sort of resolution, because I don't even want it. I don't want it to be a scene where Luke is looking at Misty and Misty asks about Claire and he's like, well, you know, Claire decided to move with her mom down to blah 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 state, and it's like, that's it. Like, we don't get no resolution with that, so I'd be disappointed if they don't bring it back.
Honestly, man, I want to see her back with Matt. Not dating Matt, but like back in that universe. I know that that's New York still, but like, and I know that technically Daredevil's dead, but like, I really really like the relationship between her and Matt.
I mean, it's funny too, because some people, I remember somebody was trying to like push out the aspect of Claire secretly being like well, granted, this was last year. Somebody was trying to push Claire the new White Tiger, and I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know
about that.
Yeah, I you know, that's this like I like where she's at, where she is kind of like out there helping people and
the night nurse.
Yeah, as a night nurse and stuff. So you know what though, you might be on the money though, because it'd be nice in Daredevil season 3 if she pops up while Matt is doing his whole recovering from quote unquote dying, because you know he disappeared and stuff. So it would be interesting with that.
Like, to me, okay, so like Luke Cage obviously was her boyfriend, but I always got the sense that she respected, okay, and this is just me reaching completely, but like she respected Matt above all because Luke has power. Danny has power, right? Matt is just a guy in a fucking suit. And he, remember when she told that story about the devil of Hell's Kitchen? You know, came in and saved that guy or whatever the fuck from the first season. Like she seemed to have a special kind of bond with Matt.
I mean,
she
that was her first interaction with somebody on that level of a superhero. So like that kind of brought him
to the hospital.
Yeah, and that in particular, because I mean, she was, to me in Jessica Jones, it felt like Claire was a footnote. She wasn't really like a big part of Jessica Jones. And
yeah, she's just a cameo.
Yeah, she's just a cameo for like an episode or two. But like when you look at Daredevil season 2, it felt like she really played a big role and stuff. So it made sense for them to have that kind of like relationship, so to speak.
Connection, if you were.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good word. So like, I would like to see, you know, even if she's visiting or whatever, but like drop in on Matt, you know, what's going on. You know, I don't want to see her be like, hey guys, it's Claire. But since she does have that connection with Matt,
yeah,
you know, drop in on Matt, you know, what he's recovering or however they're going to bring him back, and oh, you know, what's up with you and Luke, that kind of thing. Because I really like her in the Daredevil series, and especially with him, where he does get fucked up. He needs somebody like her, you know, as like his you know, his medic. And I think it would be a shame if she kind of was like, yeah, no, I'm done with this, because she really is the glue that holds those shows together.
Oh yeah. Speaking of other shows, can we just talk about Iron Fist?
Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about Iron Fist here.
Wow,
I have felt from Defenders, they did a great job of pulling a 180 and making you give a shit about Danny. And I felt Luke Cage really upped them in terms of you actually liking Danny. And like I say, I think it's kudos to the writing and stuff, which I'm praying to God that Iron Fist 2, we get this Iron Fist that we saw in Luke Cage, because that would be dope. That would be awesome.
In fact, Luke Cage actually says, man, you're different, man. You out in the center. I did, honestly, it's like, you're different, more cool. I honestly thought Danny Rand was going to look toward the camera and says, that's what happens when you have a good writing staff. And just stay back to
Honestly, like I think he's a lot more likable. He's not so fucking whiny. I like that they give him shit about calling him Iron Fist and like the dragon and everything.
Yeah, they're still giving
They're
shit
like,
for
come
that.
on, yeah, come on, dude, the dragon. He's like, what the fuck, man? Like, we fought dead ninjas.
I would not be surprised that they're going to find a way to bring Fin Fan Foom into this.
Listen,
and just
if Iron Fist Season 2, from what I'm hearing, it seems like Iron Fist 2, they're really going to kind of go all in on, like, Danny and Davos fighting it out, which I think is going to be dope. But, like, what I loved about this is that it feels as though they're really setting up a potential Heroes for Hire spin-off.
Oh God, yeah.
Because I really feel once they finish up with Rookie Season 3 and whatever they do with Iron Fist, they're just gonna say fuck it, Heroes for Hire series, Luke and Danny.
And what about
Danny? What about it ended?
Huh?
Yeah, but what about Luke Cage owning the club? They're not going to talk about the entire time.
That's why I feel it all might tie into Luke saying, you know what, we need to start a Heroes for Hire kind of thing, and then boom, that's your series right there, Heroes for Hire. You know.
But here's my concern with that though. Mike Coulter is by far the most charming of that fucking group. That motherfucker oozes charisma.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's such a likable, just a good-looking dude. You know what I mean? He's just I don't know. Like I'm like, God damn, he's just so fucking likable. You know,
He's just chill. I'm like,
him.
Yeah, he's just so chill.
I don't want to see him play. Sorry, I'm trying to put the words together. I don't want to see that guy play against his strengths and try to play like at the end of this episode, season, he had a very Kingpin-esque vibe. Now I know he's not the Kingpin. He's just he thinks he's doing the right thing. But
he's in that he's in that Daredevil, and this is why I said he's kind of like how Daredevil was when he took over the hand in the comics, where he has to kind of figure out, okay, so I have all this power, what am I going to do with it now?
Yeah, well, you can't.
Honestly, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
That last shot of him in the club, I was having fucking Michael Clark Duncan flashback to Daredevil.
Man, listen.
You know what I mean?
A little bit, especially with the suit. You're right. You're definitely right on that.
and by the way, man,
I'm just saying.
I like you know what's funny?
2002 Daredevil was actually good.
I didn't mind it. That was the funny thing is because I remember people was giving Michael Clark Duncan so much shit as Kingpin, but I was like, yo, he has the fucking look of Kingpin. To be honest with you, for that time,
yeah,
it worked. I mean, dialogue notwithstanding, of course, but like, you wanted somebody to be a threatening like Kingpin. There's Michael Clark Duncan right there. I can't knock it, you know?
Yeah, this big.
Yeah, but then Vincent D'Onofrio comes in and goes, check this out.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. At the time period that we got Michael Clark Duncan, he was fine. But I kind of knew, like, I'm waiting for somebody to really, like, do Kingpin to the level of justice where we get the subtlety, but we also get the brutality of it. And all it took was Vincent D'Onofrio to gain some pounds and shape up a little bit, and boom, there you go, we got it. So that was perfect timing and stuff. And like I said, Vincent D'Onofrio can act his ass off too, so that definitely is the big boost more than anything else. So,
but back to your Heroes for Hire thing. Like, here's my thing. Like, Danny was definitely more likable.
Yeah.
Likable than it was in the first season. I still think the martial arts needs work. Like, it seems like each time we see him, he gets better.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming like they heard the backlash and they were just like, all right,
it's got a little bit better, but it's not on the level, like, because it's weird to me. It's like I'm coming off of watching something like Into the Badlands, right? So
yes, exactly.
So it's like when I think of Iron Fist, it's like while he has improved, it's like I want that level of Into the Badlands with Danny.
Exactly what you just and I was kind of bummed out when they didn't cast like an Asian actor or Asian American actor, but like this guy that plays him, so that's who we got. That's fine. Yeah. But fuck, man, like, come on. Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to be the world's best martial artist. Basically, he's the fucking Iron Fist, and I'm like, motherfucker, I can turn on legit MMA and see shit better than that.
I will give Finn this. I will give Finn this though. One thing that I would say is this: like in terms of his physique, you could tell he's put on a little bit of weight and stuff. I would give him that much. It's just like I need Iron Fist season 2 for them to really turn it up on the fights, because and also too like with
I agree.
They gotta turn it up. So it's like I'm looking, and like I said, we're going to San Diego, so apparently they might be showing some stuff for Iron Fist season 2 there. So I'm praying to God that trailer is hot fire. I pray to fucking God it is, because like I really need to see Danny like up it up. And I think a lot of people are praying to God, because like I said, there's no Scott Buck, there's none of that bullshit. They got somebody brand new that knows the character, so it's like I really need for them to like go all in, A game and everything. So I'm praying to God.
I agree with you, dude. Daredevil whooped that ass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like,
Daredevil was like season 1 and even season 2. The fight scenes were amazing.
If Iron Fist season 2 hits that Daredevil level, it's like, all right, cool, awesome.
No, I'm saying like, okay, Daredevil, Matt Murdock is a boxer with martial arts-esque training, but he's primarily a brawler boxer.
Yeah.
But if you watch, and I'm not saying I'm an expert or any of that shit, but I watch a fuck ton of fighting.
Yeah.
And I can tell when a dude slips a punch, hits a jab, cross, whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, it at least looks feasible. When Matt fights, it's like, okay, I can buy that he had boxing training. Obviously, you know, it's still Hollywood boxing, but like he slips punches, he jabs, he's got right cross, hooks, everything. When Danny fights, I'm like, this guy looks like he might be, I don't know, he might have had like a year of training.
No, he looks like someone you're like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, and then Defenders, fucking Daredevil whooped his ass.
Yeah. I'm like Daredevil.
That didn't shock me, because between Stick giving Danny so much shit, like, yeah, this guy's supposed to be the fucking Iron Fist, but whatever, you know, and like I said, it felt like Matt was more of the veteran versus, because like I said, I think maybe because we all read comics, we're used to Danny and Matt kind of being one and the same, and just because I remember Brubaker's Iron Fist was what got me into it. I loved how in the comics they had Danny masquerade as Matt as Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
that was great. That was a great little scene where it's like nobody knew that Matt, like everybody thought that Matt and Daredevil was separate, because Danny was so good to kind of mimic Daredevil's moves and stuff, until we saw the glowing fist, and it's like, oh, that's Iron Fist as Daredevil. What's going on here? You know, so that's
my point. It's like it's like in the Defenders, right? Which I don't know why so many people give that show shit. I liked it, but
it's 8 episodes.
Pretty to the point. When they all make fun of him and they were kind of giving him shit, when they squared off, I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing Danny fuck up Matt and just being like, what now? Yeah. Or at least hold his own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know
but this
dude, they're all like, oh, I get that Matt is the veteran and he da-da-da-da, but it's almost like Superman being faster than the Flash. When you have all this other shit, give the Flash speed.
Yeah, you got
to. Let him be fast. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Danny is a fucking martial artist. He's supposed to be the world's best martial artist, yada, yada, yada. Matt Murdock has all these other powers that he like. Danny should be better at martial arts.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the dude for Cobra Kai could probably kick Danny's ass. I'm like, come on, man. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about the 80s. I'm talking about, you know, the new YouTube series when the dude is drunk and has who's basically a loser. He could probably kick Danny's ass. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like when he fought teenagers in the parking lot. It was so uncomfortable to watch.
Look, and I wouldn't be surprised that those teenagers would probably kick Danny's ass. I'm like,
hey, look, I know that, you know, Frank Castle is doing his own thing with Punisher, and I think it's going to be great. I need the Punisher to kind of come just for a small moment, to try to pop up with Luke Cage and them just for a moment, and then go back to his own thing. Just for a moment. I need that. I just
what do you do? He just shoots at Luke Cage like dude, just stop. And he just like Frank's like, yeah. It just goes away.
I mean, it's like, as much as I'm cool with Frank kind of doing his own thing, dealing with his own stuff, it's just I just need that little moment with him kind of interacting with the Defenders just for a moment and stuff. So that's just my dream in my head, you know. That's all.
I mean, what would you do with Luke Cage? I mean, and Frank Castle. I mean, there's not much you have, you know.
Polar opposites.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'll say this though:
Matt will kill.
Oh yeah, if he has to, yeah.
Matt will kill. Frank will kill, obviously. Danny, I don't know, maybe undecided. Luke doesn't want to kill, so if you put Frank and Luke together, it's Batman and Superman to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this guy that's like at all costs, whatever it takes, and this other guy's like no. But then again, now you have this kind of evolved Luke Cage. Like I was saying, though, I don't want to see Mike Coulter try to play Luke Cage as a dark, like anti-hero. Like I can't stand this. Like, oh, let's make him an anti-hero. Like just let Luke Cage be Luke Cage, and let Mike Coulter, much like how when Robert Downey Jr. was cast, Tony Stark portrayed as a certain way in the comic books, right? And then they completely fucking fit that character to be Robert Downey Jr. from here on out.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see the same thing, maybe to a lesser degree, with Mike Coulter. Like, don't try to force him to be this kind of. If they're going to do heroes for hire, I don't know how that works, because Danny's a billionaire. He don't need fucking money. And Luke, I don't want to see him shaking people down.
Well, the heroes for hire, like the heroes for hire in the comics, like Danny, what he was doing was him and Luke. Danny was using his money to help. Basically, he was teaching kids in a dojo, so his money was more so like the heroes for hire thing was more like helping people for free, essentially. Since it's like, well, Danny's already rich, so the heroes for hire moniker was more so like, hey, we're just gonna help people out and stuff for free. We're not gonna, try to charge them or anything and stuff, unless it's something that's really like ridiculous, So that it's just more so for the moniker. But I will say this though, I do want to see a miniseries, Daughters of the Dragon, with Misty and Colleen.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes. But then again, if they're going to do the hero for hire thing, we must when the new Fantastic Four thing comes out and Dr. Doom's acting on the ship, you have to have Luke Cage come in, Michael beat the hell out of everyone in Doom Castle, and just say he wants his money.
I'm telling you right
that
now.
Will get
I have an inkling feeling years down the road we're finally going to see that TV and movie synergy happen, where that probably could happen in some way, shape, or form. I got a feeling, because you can't duck and dodge the shit forever. You can't, But I need a Daughters of the Dragon series, because I don't know whether Colleen purposely went to that bar knowing that they were going to get into a fight, but I didn't mind, because I did like, and this is kind of one of those little subtle moments that I like, is when Misty is ready to punch the dude, and she's used her nub, and she figures out like, oh shit, I don't have that arm anymore, And I just like how Colleen is just sitting back like, no, you got this. I'm gonna let you handle this, and you got this. And sure enough, Misty got it.
Until homeboy swings at Colleen.
Yeah. Then Colleen got to jump in and stuff, and I need more of their pairing, because they got a great kind of camaraderie with one another, and it works perfectly. I did like the slight nod to their costumes from the comics, because apparently that was purposely done with Misty being in the red and Colleen being in a white jumpsuit. So that was.
Oh, I would pay money for that. I would love to see that type of sub-series. But then the question is, who's going to be the villain? A Nightshade?
You don't really need a villain. I mean, just make it some random Yakuza or something, and then boom. If you want to, you could use Typhoid Mary. If you really want to, if you really got to get somebody. I mean, but if you really had to get somebody.
You know what's interesting though is like it seems like it almost seems like, okay, so Iron Fist came out. I think we all agree it's definitely the weakest of the. Actually, you know what, man? I'd say Jessica Jones season 2 is worse, but I didn't even finish it. I just couldn't.
I'll say this about Jessica Jones season 2. I liked it, but there were parts where it felt like it was all over the place. Like basically, I felt when I came away from Jessica Jones season 2 is that everybody in that season was terrible fucking people.
You're right. I really like Kristen Ritter, and I think she's very attractive. But like, I just cannot. I cannot stand the character of Jessica Jones. She's so fucking unlikable to me.
Yeah,
I think that's the point. But it is kind of like, okay, how many seasons can we get Jessica Jones as unlikable? Because we need
at that point, you're going to push people away, because you could do the unlikable thing for so long. Arrow realized that, because they like, you know what? Let's make the main dude actually somewhat likable.
Ollie actually likable now, so it's like, all right,
exactly.
Cool. Well,
because if you don't, you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gone. It's gonna be misery. I'll just hang out with Luke Cage. I'll hang out with Iron Fist. I'll hang out with Dan. Heck, have Daughters of the Dragon and such.
I look at it like this though. Like, okay, Matt Murdock is a happy, seemingly charming guy. When he's Matt Murdock, he wants to help people. He works for pro bono, etc. So, like, you could be friends with him, have a beer with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frank Castle, when he was hanging out with Homeboy's family, when he was playing that character, you're like, seems like a cool guy. I know he's distant and aloof, but he warmed up to them, yada, yada, yada. Maybe could have a beer with him, right?
Yeah.
Luke Cage, charming motherfucker. Danny, have a beer with him, too. Jessica Jones is like this. I don't have people like her in my life, like this, woe is me, I'm so fucked up, I push everybody away, I'm cunt. Excuse my language. Like, I don't have people like that in my life, so it doesn't interest me to watch people like that. If she went through an arc where she was, like, working on, really get better, etc., I'm interested, but she's the same fucking character every time we see her. She does not change, at least, largely. And to me, I'm just like, I find people like her in real life to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
So it
there
doesn't
needs to be
interest me.
a bridge to make her more likable. Something that actually makes a saga that brings her to makes her into more of a humanity. Because if you don't, you're going to basically have a miserable character, and you're going to just push people away. And you forget this is a superhero show. It's supposed to be uplifting. You have the realism if you want, but at this point, you're just going to say it's so miserable to the point you're just like, you know what, I can't watch it. By the way, don't Luke Cage and them hook up? And I'm like, why would Luke Cage...
Well, that's the thing. It's like, that's what I'm saying. For that to happen, though, to me, if you're going to do that, you have to kind of resolve how Luke and Claire kind of resolve their stuff before you even push that. And that's why I say I like the fact that maybe they are building up to that pairing happen eventually and stuff. But, hey, Luke
Don't they have a kid together?
Yeah, in the comic they have a kid together. Yeah, the kid is like, I think kid is like 6 years old, and then weird thing, because Marvel likes to dabble with time travel stuff. Their daughter, we found out in the future, she inherits Luke's and Jessica's powers and stuff, like the strength and the invulnerability, and she's like the new Captain America in the future.
So, that's nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like years in the future. I think she's on the U.S. Avengers, I believe. But I don't think I think she might have went back to her time period and stuff. It's been a minute since I've read U.S. Avengers, but she was on that team for a minute and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where Marvel likes to kind of do the foreshadowing of, oh, hey, kind of like with Cassie Lang, we found out, she ends up becoming part of the Young Avengers, and, she ends up becoming Stature and got the powers like Scott Lang and stuff. So, it's kind of their way of...
They hinted at that movie.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah,
they did not hint anything.
They dropped that in?
Yeah, they put it away, dude. They hinted at it. When you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay. All right, cool. So, but...
well, go back to, Danny. I mean, I definitely like seeing him and Luke. Like, even in Defenders, like, when they were in the boardroom and everyone just jumps behind, like, Danny jumps behind Luke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the pairing of the two combat-wise, because you have, like, strength versus what's supposed to be finesse.
Oh, man, he punched Luke's hand in that factory?
Yeah, like that shit was awesome. I was like, all right, but you would hope that Iron Fist Season 2, because now that, Doctor Strange has been well established in the MCU, and I know that these aren't directly tied, but they do reference.
They add the mysticism aspect now, so now you have to address it.
Exactly. Like him saying "Bing Bang Boom." Like, why not?
Might as well.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have.
Did they have the budget for it? Don't know.
Yeah, but this to me is okay. So people are like, oh shit, like Iron Fist was pretty cool in Luke Cage. It's a perfect opportunity to springboard off of that and really come out with Iron Fist Season 2. Dude, I already told you about that tattoo. Fuck that thing. Make it a brand.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, you have to. We were talking about Misty, and we saw her kind of what I did enjoy a little bit and stuff was kind of earlier on with her having a lot of people look at her weird because she lost the arm and action and stuff. And I like how she's still dealing with kind of the after effects of her partner's corruption. and him sewing it up, all that stuff. That was actually a pretty good little arc and stuff, particularly with her beefing with her superior and stuff, and him kind of like, hey, we need you to do the job. I don't care if you tried to taint the thing, you didn't do it, so that's all that, so those little moments and stuff, and we get to see Scarf again and stuff from the backstory, and we find out that his son killed himself with his gun, and that might have been what kind of pushed him to do what he did, I guess. I don't know if I'm seeing it correctly.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And by the way, I did like Scarf before. You see how he was before and such. Before his son getting killed and everything, it was really just something. You draw that type of humanity to him, and then you just see his kid get killed, and that broke him down.
Yeah, and I was kind of laughing. I'm laughing at the fact that his bottle of liquor was still in that drawer in the office. Still, I was like, oh, it's still there, and it didn't get old. All right, cool. Trying to think.
Where do you think that? For season 3, so we would assume season 3 would be this time next year.
Yeah, provided if they started filming and stuff. I'll say this. That's a good kind of jumping off point. I honestly did not see the ending coming because I should have, because on one hand, one of the characters, Sugar, I loved his kind of evolution over the course of the season because, he's trying to go clinging, and then Luke, quote unquote, messed his car up and stuff, and then he's going back to Mariah. I liked the little moment where Mariah, when her lawyer's like, so you want to take Sugar out? And he's like, no, he gave me clothes. I remember that. That little moment. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Sugar's still alive. Awesome. Dope.
His wife did me a kindness.
Yeah, so I liked how, and I should have caught on once Sugar started being the informant for Luke. I should have caught on to the fact that eventually they were going to be cool with each other, and I liked their little moment with him and Luke on the rooftop where Luke just finally asked him, hey dude, how did you hook up with Mariah anyways? And then we get his little backstory, and it's enough to where you're like, hey, I like Sugar. I want to see more of him a little bit now. So just the ending itself of Luke taking over the club, it shocked me because I thought they really when he told the lawyer burn it, I was like, oh, he's really going to bump down. All right, and he didn't, and it's like, so is Luke evil? Question mark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the best decision he made at the time, because if he burnt it down, well, okay, now what? You still have the issues of the rival gangs trying to take over. Yeah. He's like, you know what? You can't just abandon this, where the city is at this point. This is the best decision he has at the time.
Yeah.
You can't really, do all this type of stuff. He tried to be so neutral and try to save everybody. He can't do that. In that role, it would just be a dog chasing his tail.
Oh, Mariah, and I think that was why Mariah purposely gave him the club, because she was really trying to corrupt him. I don't know whether, and that's the thing that I like how it ended, is that we don't know whether this is really going to truly corrupt Luke, or he's still going to try to do the balancing act of not being corrupt now. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting how it ends, and I like the idea, because it threw me off, because when Misty was like, hey, you cut up, I want to stop you, and Luke was like, I'm counting on it. I was like, so is he purposely expecting that to happen to him? And also too, Tilly popping up at his club, and I'm like, okay, she's clearly going to try to be kind of the annoyance to him now. So it's a lot of moving parts at this point with Luke, and just I could tell based on Twitter reaction that a lot of folks are just like, the hell just happened? And I'm like, yeah, this is new. It ain't cut and dry anymore, folks.
Well, I didn't see it. I mean, I even said, when I finished the season, I was like, fuck, man, I did not see that one come. But it'll be interesting to see how he's still the hero of Harlem, because if Pops is supposed to be Switzerland,
yeah,
what is
Harlem's
what is the club?
Yeah, Harlem's Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how D-Dub was just like, hey, yeah, you're going to have to get out of here now, since you basically are actual kingpin now. It's like, yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Well, yeah.
He was kind of causing some troubles this season. It's like, hey, dude, you did film some stuff, dog.
Yeah, not only did you film that shit, but you're selling
Yeah.
all that shit, trying to make a buck off of his name, so that he basically just does it on a grander scale, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, man, fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, where all that morality bullshit when you're selling bootleg fucking videos?
I mean, hey, people gotta eat. I get the bootleg aspect of it and stuff, but I like how he but it was weird because, like, he's selling the whole, the Sweet Christmas sweatshirts, which...
You know what, dude? I would buy one.
I would buy one too.
I was surprised they haven't. There's no store for that yet. Is there a store?
I'm gonna have to go on Redbubble to see if anybody made anything Luke Cage related with Sweet Christmas, because that is something that needs to be a thing. Everything that he made shirt wise, need that. Like, why is that not a thing? And you know what though? I'll say this: Danny wearing the Sweet Christmas thing that was green and yellow because Iron Fist and stuff. It's like now I'm like, so Danny, are we gonna get an outfit for you in Iron Fist or nah? I mean, because that would.
I want to see the costume. Yeah,
I need it.
Dude, you need to revamp that costume in the worst fucking way.
No, I mean, have you read the newest Power Man Iron Fist comic?
It's the one where he wears like a tracksuit.
Yeah, he has the the Game of Death tracksuit and stuff. That's a little bit better.
Well, I mean, isn't that how he looked in fucking the end of Defenders?
Kind of, sort of, but we don't really fully see it. I gotta look at an image again and stuff. I think that's what they were trying to go for and stuff. My ask, so maybe he does go with the tracksuit.
Yeah, if he wants to wear a tracksuit, and okay, look at it. It's like this: Daredevil needs a costume because he has a secret identity, right? I don't like. Everyone's like, "Where's the DD?" He doesn't need the fucking
DD.
First of all, Daredevil is one fucking word, so it's not DD. So like that never made sense to me. And secondly, like we all know he's fucking Daredevil. New York knows he's Daredevil. He doesn't need it. Like the DD is not for him because he can't fucking see. It's for every like. To me, if you're trying to make this grounded, quote unquote, in reality, he doesn't need a DD on that costume, that armor that he wears.
That Ben Affleck costume was like, yeah, why do we have DD on the side? That didn't make any sense.
It just didn't make any sense. But like the one that he wears, my point being is like Matt Murdock needs that armor to protect him because he gets fucked up. Frank Castle doesn't have. It's like if you tried to put John Barenthal in like the white boots and the white gloves, people would be like, get the fuck out of here, right? He wears a flak jacket and body armor, okay? My point being is like we're past the point of like Danny Rand doesn't need a pop collar with a sash and like if he wants to wear like a tracksuit,
yeah. Doesn't need the sash, but he needs something like like a tracksuit or something, a little bit of armor or something like that. I mean, he has the money to do so. Make a craft for armor, something like that, and the yellow mask is fine too.
See, I don't know about because the mask is tricky because it's basically a yellow mask with Spawn / Spider-Man eyes, right? That kind of that kind of like black on white, right? So that's traditionally been his mask. How do you put that on that kid and take him seriously? We already kind of are goofing on it now.
Yeah.
If you put him in that mask,
I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of cosplay, and I think this is where the evolution of cosplay has gotten to where I follow a guy on Instagram where he does the Steel Serpent cosplay, and his mask looks something that I think that the Netflix series Iron Fist is going to end up using, where it's not some goofy. Because you remember how Matt had Jessica Jones' scarf over his face in Defenders and stuff, and a lot of people were like, "Well, see, Iron Fist could wear that." I was like, it wouldn't necessarily look right as just a regular cloth, but like the way the guy did it, it was like kind of like cloth, and he kind of like. It looked like he had like a domino mask in the cloth and kind of pieced it all together and stuff to where it just looks it looks really good.
I mean, kind of like
I can't quite explain how it looks, but when you see it, it's like okay, that actually looks perfect. Actually,
kind of like
let's see. It's okay. So the Devil at Hell's Kitchen, right? The first season of Daredevil, we didn't get the proper Daredevil costume to the last. So the reason that I think
that
that
I think
Matt
I'm sorry.
looked so fucking good was because it was his face.
Yeah.
There were no eyes cut out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was almost like, well, how much do you see? You know what I mean? It was mysterious looking.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you took that same premise and cut eye holes in it. It doesn't have the same effect.
Oh
So-
yeah.
I mean, I saw somebody say that you could probably take the Daredevil mask that Matt has and try to rearrange it and make it as the Iron Fist mask.
Or you can use if you ever see the show Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah.
Pentagon
Yeah,
Dark.
Pentagon,
which-
Pentagon, yeah.
That you see right there. If you step up a bit, right there it is.
That could work.
That
could work.
that's your.
Just rework it a little bit and stuff, and you can that would actually could work a little bit.
Yes.
But again, okay, so like that's possible, but we're already clowning on Danny and the actor. You put him in a fucking luchador mask
Yeah.
with a tracksuit, people are going to be like, "Get the fuck out of my face!" To me,
It's
it's like
presentation.
Wolverine. It's like Wolverine. I hate Wolverine's mask. I always have. A guy like Wolverine is not going to stop a costume and a mask. He's just like, fuck it,
I
let's
mean,
go.
it's like it's kind of like I like Wolverine in the movies and stuff a little bit, but it would have been nice to see him in the full blown costume.
But the thing is though, like to me, it always went against his character because Logan is just like he just wants to fight. He just wants to fight. He wants to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's go put our yellow and blue matching costumes on with shoulder pads and let me put my mask on. Wolverine's going to be like, fuck that. The same way that Frank Castle's not going to put a costume on. He's going to put body armor on. Wolverine, the closest I would ever come is like his Astonishing X-Men with the jacket with the X.
Yeah.
Like him
Yeah.
just grab it and say, this is as close as I'm going to get.
Well, I mean,
The point I'm trying to make is like sometimes these things just don't translate into live action.
I
You
mean,
know what
did you like the flashback in Iron Fist season 1 where we saw the Iron Fist during Vietnam and stuff?
Yeah, but that was from the 60s.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
Where, you know what I mean? So, like the 60s had the pop collar and the open shirt. Like, to me, again, put him in a tracksuit, kind of that Game of Death thing.
Yeah.
Make that ugly, stupid-ass tattoo a brand, and when he charges up the Iron Fist, I want to see...
I need both hands to
I
charge
wanna-
up, by the way. Just FYI on that
Yeah,
one.
no, you're right. Not only that shit, I want to see some Godzilla atomic breath stemming from chest shit. I want to see that fucking that brand on his chest light up like his cheek.
Yeah.
It comes from the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see some like better looking Green Lantern shit where it emanates from his chest. So imagine him in a tracksuit, right?
Yeah.
Walks through, dimly lit. Kind of got the tracksuit unzipped a little bit so you can see the top of the dragon brand, not shitty tattoo.
Yeah.
And you just see that fucker walk in there, and you see the thing light up under the jacket, and you see it come down both arms and stop in his hand. You tell me that's not a striking image.
Oh, man, that shit would look
yes.
dope as hell, man.
Fuck a mask. Fuck
Yeah.
a mask. You'd be like, oh shit, like oh shit,
Yeah.
motherfucker's about to do work.
Yeah,
It's
easily.
the same way that when they did Luke with the tiara, they did it as a hot second, as like, okay, there it is.
And then he was like, this is goofy. Need to get this off.
Yeah, or like when he had the yellow blouse on and shit.
Yeah.
The stuff that works in the comics and has worked in the comics since the 60s doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, that's what.
Yeah.
I mean, I do need Luke to kind of get somebody to develop him a bulletproof hood. I mean, that dude goes through so many hoodies, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I could have called this boy Danny Rand for that stuff. Get some bulletproof clothes so you can
Hey,
do that change that stuff. And yeah, and by the way, I mean we do need change because if we didn't, if we would have an Iron Man suit, would have been just straight yellow.
Yeah,
Would have been like
all yellow like the comics.
You know what I would like to see though? I mean, going back to your guys' idea. So let's say in season 2, he's kind of like, you know what? I need to be more of a force out on the streets.
Yeah.
We're assuming that Iron Fist will hit before Daredevil season 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
Okay,
that's why
so-
they're promoting
Yeah,
they're promoting that San Diego, so it's supposed to release later this year. So yeah.
Okay, so Danny still assumes that Matt is dead. Danny seemed to want to take on the mantle, or at least not
Protect
take on the
Hell's
mantle,
Kitchen
but more
stuff.
like, yeah, he wanted to protect. So I'm assuming Iron Fist season 2 would play off that to a degree. What if Danny visits Melvin and they design, some kind of tracksuit, lightweight body armor, and Melvin's like, yeah, I made this for you just in case. And they at least just show him put on a mask for a second. He's like, nah, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
So you guys get what you want, where they're like, all right, fuck it, there it is. And then, it kind of moves into the current, like, hey, it doesn't need
but
I would love to see him put it on.
Oh, yeah. It would definitely be dope.
I still think you should do some depending on Dark Jr. type of way to do it. I think if you present it well, it could be something really, iconic.
Oh, yeah, easily. So go ahead to Luke Cage, though. I will say this. The 2 episodes that him and Piranha were kind of, like, interacting, I love the Piranha character. He was, like, hilarious.
Yes. I hate the fact that he got,
I'm mad he got killed, though. I was like, dog, why? Man. Like, why did you kill him? Yeah, that
could have been awesome. It would have been awesome him being around and, like, Luke Cage or just be around for all the other stuff, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It would have been really cool.
I mean, it was definitely great to see Piranha.
He was such a sleazebag.
Huh?
He was such a sleazebag. He was so good at it, though.
Yeah, and I like how, like, we've... Like I said, those moments, like, with him and Luke and him kind of expanding on why he got to the place that he was at and stuff, and it was because of, like, oh, I just want to prove to my dad that I was just really good at my job and, and all that stuff. It was basically, we know his reasons and stuff. It doesn't take away the sleaze bag, but you're still kind of like, all right, I see why he's there. So I was kind of mad that they kind of took him off the table. I was like, oh, it would have been nice to see like that. Granted, it would have been nice to see that ending where he's up in the club all giddy and shit. And it's like, oh, man, we took him off.
But it would have been better. I think it's better than his comic origin because he has, implant. You know why he's called Piranha Jones? Because he got
like an actual piranha.
I'm like, yeah. No.
Yeah, that would have kind of took away from it and stuff. But
someone looking like right out of the Tracy villain. Somebody do.
But yeah, the whole thing with this whole season was like the whole family first and stuff. And like I said, Mariah getting her comeuppance from Tilde, it was like, oh, okay then. Well, I guess they clearly knew to take Mariah off the table with this. This is interesting now. So yeah, I mean, what was y'all initial reaction? Like, did y'all expect just off the break Mariah like actually getting killed? Like, how did y'all feel she was going to get killed?
I thought the way she was acting, the way she was everything just blew up. Quite literally, her house was gone, the money was gone. I thought that was it for her. I thought they were going to transition to Bushmaster as the main threat. As he's like, he took all Mariah's money. She took the club. He took everything. I'm like, damn. You're like nothing. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
because it was like that episode. So I'm like, that would have been a way to end a like a mid-season finale at some points. You know what I mean? Like It's just like, okay, I'm like, damn. If this was a mid-season finale, that would have got me.
The mid-season finale, if this was on TV, the mid-season finale would have been like when Bushmaster kicked Luke Cage into the water. That would have been like the mid-season finale right there. there were parts where
I like how he just
he
kicked him into water, like. It's such a fucking, it's such a funny thing, like, hey, man, I'm going to kick you into some fucking water, because you can drown.
I mean, what else do? It's not like, oh, I'm going to freaking break your leg, Luke. It's like, no, I'm just going to kick you in the water, and you're just going to drown while you're paralyzed. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool. I
was having some unbreakable flashbacks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it was funny. I woke up, and he just walks out the water and just walks back to his dad's church like it's nothing. His dad was like, what happened to you? I got kicked in the water. I'm cool.
He's like, all right.
Hey. Yeah, but the funny thing is, though, I'm like in the thinking about to describe Piranha Jones. He's pretty much he wants to be a Bond villain. I'm like,
hey, did y'all laugh at when Luke told Piranha, "Where's my money, honey"?
Yes.
Yes, that is like, oh, that's beautiful. I bet they know. I bet the showrunner would love. I bet he would love to write that scene with Dr. Doom, though. I'm
pretty sure he would have. That would have been just a little backstory scene. It would be like, yeah, that would have been nice and stuff. But
that's why Dr. Doom hasn't appeared yet because Luke Cage fucked him up for $200.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Oh god, I can't
I will say this.
wait for Doctor Doom.
Yeah, it's man. You know what? That's why I say I feel with what they're doing with Luke Cage. Like I said, I feel they did learn the lessons of the first season. Just like I said, they did a good job of just setting up where Luke is naturally going to go. Because, like I said, nothing is ever cut and dry with Luke. So it just seems like a thing that he was doing. Even the little thing with him, because the scene in particular where you see where it was turning at is when he rolls up to Homegirl's place and he's listening to the payback and he's just taking everybody down, and she's like, so you're gonna kill me or nah? And that's when she was like, so there's a but to this, right? And he's like, yeah, just stay out of the schools and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, so that's what he's doing. So he's just gonna let them do their stuff, and it's like, okay,
You know what I did like though, like because we were talking about like, where Luke ends up in the season. And is he bad? Is he good? Da, da, da. Like the darkest I want to see Luke go for me is when Mariah was dying, and he said like, I'm not gonna say. It's like that Batman shit. I'm not gonna save you, but I'll stay with you.
Yeah, that was
where
wild.
He's like, you have to go.
Yeah,
And
you have. There's no saving you.
I'm not going to kill you, but I'm not going to save you either because, like, you are a fucking deplorable human being, and you need to. Whoever did this to you, you deserve it. But I will stay with you as a sign of respect as like a human being. That's the darkest I want to see because for a second there, you're like, God damn, but. Again, you realize how, likable and charming Mike Coulter is. That even in that moment, you're like, God damn, like, like it's almost like he's being honorable.
Yeah,
and that's the darkest I want to see Luke. I don't want to see him become this kind of kingpin because that basically ends the series. I mean, he's not a hero for hire.
Oh, no.
He's not Harlem's protector. He's a villain then at that point. He's the kingpin. So. Yeah. I want to see him in because like the way that Misty at the end of the season was like, motherfucker, you're basically Cottonmouth now. I want to see him.
But he kept denying it though. That was the crazy part. It was like that kind of like I'm not Cottonmouth, and it's like, no, dude, you are. Like, don't deny it.
But I mean, it's like that saying, like, absolute power ups, absolutely, right? Yeah. And it's like the same thing with the Joker in the Dark Knight. Like he wasn't trying to kill Batman, he was trying to corrupt him. And Mariah is trying to corrupt Luke, and it'll be fun if this is the way that they go in season 3 to see how incorruptible he is. And maybe he walks that line where you think like, oh fuck, is he gonna get all these gangs together at Harlem's Paradise and basically say like, if you guys don't stop, I'm coming after you? Yeah. But how far does he take that? Like, I don't know if that's the right. If I'm saying the right thing.
No.
Like,
I mean, it's the like I said, it's kind of like the Daredevil Shadowland conflict that he had in the comic, where it's like, are you going to let this power corrupt? Are you going to let basically leading the hand corrupt you, or are you actually going to still use them to do right by the people, so to speak? So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because on one hand, it's still the hand.
Yeah.
It's still the fucking hand. But on the other hand, it's the hand under basically new management. It's like in the comics when Splinter fucking gets the Foot Clan.
Oh yeah. They're under new management.
Like motherfucker, still the Foot Clan, but hold up, they're under new management, so maybe the Foot Clan can do good. So with Luke Cage, like I wonder if he can kind of unite these gangs. And say, look, I will allow you guys, like that deal that he what's her face, like I will allow you, keyword allow, to operate under X, Y, and Z.
To stay away from the schoolyards and the basically the places where the people are at. Essentially, like we don't need you there.
Right, it's like Misty's like, we're gonna war on this and we're gonna wipe it out, and Luke, it seems like Luke is like, hold up. We can't, as strong as I am, I can't take them all out, but I can basically organize them and put fear in them that, like, I will allow you to operate between here and here so you can still make your money and do your shit.
Yeah.
But if you slip up, you're fucking done. And who's to say that's not the right way to do it? I mean, it's basically what the government does.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. That was going to make it very interesting for season 2, with season 3 and stuff. It's like you said, you don't want them to go full bad because, like, at the point that kind of defeats the purpose of Heroes for Hire. But at the same time, you kind of want to have him, and I think that's going to be the balance for Luke Cage of season 3 if they do go in direction, is him struggling to balance, like, handling the gangs but still being the good guy. And how was the neighborhood going to view him now that some people probably know about that now? Because DW is going to say something about it. Got to.
DW himself. I mean, again, when he's like, I'm like, you scumbag pussy motherfucker, you're selling bootleg tapes of Luke getting his ass whooped, T-shirts and whatnot, trying to make that money.
So ESPN.
Which, hold up, like, make that money. You know what I mean? Like, make that money. But then Luke's just trying to do his thing on a bigger scale, and you're hating on him for it? Fuck you.
Yeah, seriously, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
to real talk, I will say this though. I did enjoy seeing Luke kind of flexing his powers at that little, like, combine thing and stuff, and, like, I did love the fact that, his, what's his face was telling him, like, hey, dude, you don't need to be a broke hero, dog. You need to make that money while you can.
Exactly. So, like, motherfucker was homeless. Luke's basically homeless.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. After that shit with Claire, it's like, yeah, he's homeless.
Yeah. So DW's making that money on that side hustle with all the Luke Cage shit, not cutting Luke in on a fucking dime.
Yeah, and where does Luke make his money, by the way?
No, that's why what's his face was Bobby Fish was telling him, hey dude, I can cut you this deal, make money and stuff, and, like, but which I found funny was that he was trying to get on in the NFL. And the dude was like, well, Luke, if we get you on, then everybody in the NFL is going to feel as though they need somebody that's like Luke Cage, too. And I can't have that. It's going to be very tricky, And
I did like that with the Nike and shit.
Yeah, Luke Cage versus a shark. And I'm like, okay.
I fucking love that actor. I forgot his name. The guy that basically is like Luke's manager.
Yeah. Bobby Fish?
Yeah, okay. So, like, first of all, I love that he's going to be the wizard in Shazam. Like, how perfect is that?
Oh, yeah, perfect.
But, like, I love that he's, like, his manager, and he's going to take that the 10%, 20% or whatever.
Yeah, it was 10%.
And he's trying to get, like, Under Armour and shit. Like,
yeah.
But my point being is, like, DW is being a bitch because he's making that money, not cutting Luke on shit. So Luke now owns a club, isn't homeless anymore, and how are you going to fucking hate on him for that?
Yeah. That makes no sense.
That's the epitome of a hater.
Yeah, I mean, I like their way of kind of. I don't think they kind of wrote him off the season, but like him, like, hey, I'm gonna help my daughter out and stuff, and I was like, oh, cool,
Yeah, and he's just gone. I'm like, dang, San Antonio, that flight to San Diego must took a long time.
AKA, I'm filming Shazam, so I'll be back.
Exactly. AKA, I gotta go dabble in that DC for a minute.
Get my DC money for a minute. I'll be back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll be back to get that Marvel money, but I got to get that DC money first. So
so
I'll be back next season. Like,
that'd be really awkward. Then you see Billy Batson walking into Pop's
everybody starts yelling crossover and shit. Like, fuck.
Yo, real talk.
Crossover.
Those are real talk, right? So we're talking funny moments, right? Piranha being this very Luke Cage fan to the extent he's like, yeah, see, I got the Seagate uniform. He's like, Luke was like, nah, dog, it wasn't yellow, it's orange. So I think he got ripped off, dog. Just putting that out there.
I'm surprised.
He was shady.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there haven't been more Marvel fanboys like that in that world.
If you had somebody that was on a Piranha level, I can imagine them being like that. Just like, I mean, dude, he was going to shoot Luke Cage on the stage. Not even realizing that the bullets do bounce off of him. I'm like, that was a dangerous thing, dude. Don't do that.
Dude, next season, I need to see some shit where, like, Luke's in Harlem and all that shit, but I need to see somebody does money.
Yeah, I need that. And I think Tilda's going to be the big bad, but I'm curious to see who else is going to start stepping to Luke next season. So it's
Let's see who else is there. They're gonna bring back Diamondback, which is like, no, I don't want to see him again.
I mean, like I said, Bushmaster is recovering Jamaica, so you can't bring him back. I mean, you like I said, I think it's a situation of I just want to see how it plays out, see who they get, because maybe,
All right.
You know who I would do?
huh?
And like, he's not typically
Oh, what were you saying?
he can swear off
Oh, okay.
for the villain for season 3. Like, so I mean, let's just say Luke is basically like he's a kingpin. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just call him the kingpin. Okay, if we're going that route, and this is just fanboy casting, and I know he's not typically a Luke Cage guy, two, throw down more than he did with Bushmaster. I would bring in the motherfucker.
Hold up, say that again. They cut out, Joe. What did you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What did you say?
I would bring in the Absorbing Man.
Ooh, because that would be a good crossover. Hold on, no. He got absorbed by Gravitron in Agents of Shield.
Yeah. Well, there's also.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Okay, you could have another. I mean, that could have been like the test subject Absorbing Man. You know what I mean? Like, Absorbing Man can be a couple different people.
Yeah.
So, like, it's never going to fucking happen. But I'm just saying, like, if I want to see Luke tee off on somebody.
Ooh, how about Moses Magnum?
Ooh, you know what? See, and that was the thing, too, I was telling Cheo. Because I told him that I was in Luke Cage Season 2, they were going to go with Tombstone. Before they announced, like, Bushmaster and stuff, I was like...
That's who I want to fucking see.
And I'm thinking that if Marvel secures this shit with Sony further, right now they can still use any Sony bad guy if they want to. So I'm this.
Except for Venom.
I mean, fuck it. Throw Tombstone in season 3.
Heck, oh gosh. You don't want to make the big crossover. Now let's imagine this. Spidey is a little bit of trouble with what was it? Their villains, the 6, right? The whole 6 villains. Instead of going Sinister Six. Instead of going at, like, say the Avengers are out of town, something like that, he can't go to them at start. He then goes down to Harlem and all this stuff and get the Defenders to help him out. That would actually be really good. Like, you have like him, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and stuff like that. Those 3 to help Spidey out.
The only problem with that is Spider-Man is the crown jewel of Marvel.
Yeah,
like,
you have
to
unless you have to bootleg it and use like another Spider-Man character like Miles. Well, I ain't gonna say Miles, like somebody like I don't know, or some shit like that. If you really needed a Spider-Man thing, but yeah.
Here's another good villain, Chemstro.
Dude, that's the thing. It's like the funny thing is that people don't realize is that Luke Cage has a rogues gallery, but they're just very street level in nature. They're like gangsters and just street level dudes and stuff. There's nobody that's like on his level per se. Like I said, other than Tombstone, and Bushmaster at this point and stuff. I mean, you literally be pulling. You can pull and make up a new character, and I don't think anybody would really care. It'd be like, all right, cool, as long as they're dope and they're awesome, cool, So
I mean, the
Tombstone. Go ahead.
The Tombstone idea fucking makes my dick hard, but like, it's like the dude that plays the lawyer would have been a fucking perfect Tombstone.
Oh goodness, yes, Big Ben Donovan, and that's the thing. He was not only a lawyer and everything else, but he's actually supposedly a super super strong as well. Yeah, I'm like, but yeah.
Hey, I thought the lawyer was pretty dope this season too. By the way, just putting that out there.
He's a shady motherfucker. He's a typical lawyer. Dude, but like,
wasn't he in Daredevil season 2? Before, like when he was visiting Kingpin, basically.
Yeah, he's the shady lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the heroes. You got like Claire and such. Then you got the shady one, Ben Donovan, connect to everybody. Kingpin, Mariah, all of them. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Like, if you're gonna do it, like just bring in the fucking Wrecking Crew.
Might as well. I mean, you don't even have to connect them to Thor, or you do just very loosely and stuff, and then there you go. I mean, if you really got to, but it's a lot of
Tombstone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're probably missing a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's there. Actually, funny thing, I think we got funny thing, it's very rare that this happens, but I think we got an actual email from somebody in regards to Luke Cage season 2. Pull it up real quick. It's very shocking that this ever happens. Yeah, I know, right? It's like people actually shoot us emails about this, and it's like, oh crap, I gotta actually recognize this now. So hold on for a second.
Wait, before we wrap up, did you guys print those shirts?
What the
3 Black Geek shirts?
No, we're actually going to just outright just print it out and stuff. So I mean, if you want to size,
I need to get one, man. Like I need to wear a 3 Black Geek shirt in the worst fucking way.
Yeah, I gotta jump on that and stuff. There it is. Robin Dupois. He actually asks, "Yo, are y'all convinced? Are y'all convinced that Jade and Mariah are together, or is that Theo Rossi grabbing fistfuls of scenery and just ate it like a fat nigga at a buffet?"
Probably a little bit of both, but
you know, a little column A, column B on that one there, sir.
But here's the thing, though. Speaking of shades and all this stuff, you know, his son actually becomes the new Power Man. So I wonder if they going to try to.
Well, that's not Luke Cage's son.
I'm talking about Shades.
Fucking Victor, whatever his name is. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause that's the funny thing about his powers. His powers function like Iron Fist a little bit. Like he gets chi from somebody else, and then boom, powers right there. So that's something that I could probably see them kind of touching on down the road, kind of like how they did in Ultimate Spider-Man, like Victor in that one and stuff. So there's a ton of possibilities for.
Hey, what about Hammerhead? Fuck it.
That's another one. They can definitely use that one. I mean, look, like I said, they're already, and I'm pretty sure Joe probably picked up on it and stuff. They used a Spider-Man-esque villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm pretty sure you picked up on who it is.
I'll go see it tomorrow, so don't worry.
Yeah. I'll let y'all pick on it, and I'll hit y'all up on Sunday after you see it and tell y'all, because that was like, oh my god, that was a big one. But
hey, do we think that fucking Morbius is gonna get made? I still don't believe it.
You know what, man?
As long as Sony is, trying to do that, they're going to try to make it, and it's going to be awkward like Venom.
They're threatening it, but honestly, I feel that I think we said this multiple times, Joe. They're waiting to see how Venom gets received before they move forward. Because you saw Silver and Black off the schedule, right?
Who the fuck? When that movie was announced, I was like, "It does." First of all, listen, it's not like a fucking.
It could work.
I don't care about.
But who was asking for it?
No, who gives a fuck? It took you years to get Spider-Man right. You've got him right with the help of Marvel. It's almost like
pettiness.
They're like the fat chick standing next to the pretty chick, and they think they're hot as shit too. It's like, no. You pay attention to you because you're standing next to the fucking hottest chick in the game.
Well, I mean, it's the equivalent to like, it was like when Wonder Woman came out and DC was like, all right, so we're going to do a bunch of these women only movies, which is fine. Hey, you want to do Birds of Prey? That's going to be awesome. That could be awesome. That could be dope. And it's like Sony was like, all right, we got to jump in on this because, the MCU got Miss Marvel and this, everybody's loving the Dora Milaje and Black Panther and stuff. So we got to do something of our own. All right, Black Cat and Silver Sable. All right, I guess.
Remember, like, an Aunt May movie. Like, what the fuck?
I heard that. I was like, listen, are you kidding?
Sony that was when they had Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they was like, we're pitching an Aunt May movie. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? What are we doing?
Dude, I still don't understand I like Tom Hardy, but that Venom movie looks like Spawn. It looks like the Spawn movies in the 90s.
It's literally fucking and Duke knows the name of the video game. I'm pretty sure what's the name of that video game? The dude that had the fucking tentacles and stuff, and he can transform into different people and stuff.
Tentacle.
Shit.
Okay, I know it's there. It's maybe it's not the Venom. It's
the same people.
It's like Prototype or something.
Prototype. Yeah, it's like Prototype. That's all that Venom movie was. I was like, dude, this is like Prototype.
Without the chance of actually, doing karate kicks to helicopters.
Like, how do you and that was my thing. It's like, how does Venom look like that without Spider-Man? Because Venom only looks
Yeah,
like that because of Spider-Man. Like,
dude, it's so frustrating because like if Sony, I mean, like I was talking about this with my friend, like how the fuck does Peter? First of all, so we don't know how they're going to come back from, Infinity War. So that's explained.
yeah.
Peter was just fucking off planet. Like, how do you explain the fact that a 16-year-old child off planet for a minute, then died and turned into dust? You know what I mean? Like all this shit. And I was telling my friend, I was like, if Marvel had been into this, if Marvel owned Spider-Man from the get, that would have been your fucking symbiote right there.
Oh yeah,
Because-
or even better, just say, Aunt May was got dusted too. So no fuss, no muss. Boom.
But I mean, like, okay, so like he's off planet. It's basically kind of Secret Wars act.
Yeah.
All this shit, like that would have been your intro for the symbiote. Maybe it bonded to him, saved him. I don't fucking know, whatever. But like, okay, cool. He got it from an alien planet, brought it back, etc., etc., etc. Could have turned him. This shit in this movie, and like when him on the bike and the tendrils come out, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa!" It's like,
That's a prototype.
I can't believe people were like, "Dude, this looks so fucking good." What movie are you watching?
That's why I'm like,
fucking-
Sony is basically doing their I peep game. They're waiting to see how Venom gets received, and then they're gonna move forward with their Morbius movie. If the Venom ends up being sucking, then they're gonna be like, nah, fuck it, we're not doing it. We're not gonna do Morbius and stuff. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like Jared Leto. I think he could do it. But at the same time, I feel Jared Leto is somebody they just grab because he's a hot name to get also too. So, I mean...
You know what, though? Sony might be doing it right because it's almost like we saw what they did with Venom, 12 years ago, whatever it was, in Spider-Man 3. And it's almost like people are like, well, this is better, so that means it's going to be good. And it's like, yeah, but that's like comparing it to a pile of shit. You know what I mean? Like, anything is better than a steaming hot pile of shit.
Yeah, but they're
it
playing.
Doesn't mean it's good.
They're playing the waiting game. That's all they're fucking doing.
And people, like I said, when you talk about DC, at least they have some sort of plan and such. At least they got Wonder Woman under their belt.
Yeah, but anyways, that's Luke Cage season 2. Guess the public thing that we do is going to be on Ant-Man and the Wasp because that movie is greatness.
Evangeline Lilly.
Oh man, but thanks guys for jumping on. Appreciate it a lot and stuff.
No problem.
We will catch you guys later. Peace out. And also, if you got anything, if you feel we missed anything, or you just got any comments about this episode, just hit us up on Twitter or shoot us an email, and we read on the show and stuff. Thanks Rob for shooting us those little small emails and stuff, and that was awesome. So we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Chin, 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 narrow.